The countdown is well and truly underway for the next big event in Hong Kong racing, FWD Champions Day. And as it draws closer, the pieces of the puzzle are starting to slide into place quite nicely. Here's what's coming up on Hong Kong Direct this week. And we'll be looking at how the locals are shaping up, heading towards Champions Day. Some of them were out on the track on Monday for a big card at Sha Tin, and we've found out who they'll be facing, including Golden 60 and Southern Legend, plus a raft of challengers from Japan. And we'll be learning a bit more too about an informed jockey and a new jockey to Hong Kong racing, and that is Ruan Maia. I'm Edward Sadler. It's terrific to have your company on this edition of Hong Kong Direct, and it's a pleasure to be joined by Trenton Akers from the South China Morning Post. Welcome back to the show, Trenton.
Thanks, Ed. It's great to be here again. It's an exciting time of the year, isn't it? We're kind of moving into our last big day here in Hong Kong before the Champions in Chada later in the year. But this is the last hurrah for a lot of these Group 1 horses.
It is. It's our second biggest meeting for the season and the biggest for the second half of the season. Monday we had the two Group 2 local lead-up races, and then a couple of days after that the fields were announced. So we're getting a bit more clarity about the picture for FWD Champions Day, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right, and we suspected it for a while, but the Japanese are coming, especially in the QE2, aren't they? Like they've almost got half the field, and it's a very strong team of 4 that they're bringing. So, you know, they're going to be extremely hard to beat. They've shown that time and time again, so that'll be a good test. We're
going to expand upon the Japanese challenges later on in the show for Champions Day, but on the track, the big news this week, Karis Teton, he had a night to remember at the Valley on Thursday.
Yeah, 4 winners, they're hard to come by any time, but especially when Joe Moreira and Zach Pertner are in the form they're in. But it was you're right, it was a very big night for Karis, and he'd just kind of been meandering along a bit compared to his previous couple of seasons. So he'll be stoked to get that and give him a bit of a kick along, and I believe that that was 50 for him as well. He raised the bat for the season, so good on him.
Yeah, super night for the Mauritian Magician with 4 winners on a 9-race card. But let's go back earlier in the week to Easter Monday racing, a big day with 2 Group 2s on the card, whetting the appetite for Champions Day later in the month. To tell us how it all unfolded, here's Doug Chalmers.
Monday's Group 2 doubleheader was supposed to add clarity to the local pecking order heading into FWD Champions Day at the end of the month, but if anything, the 2 races simply muddied the waters. The first of the features was the Group 2 Chairman's Trophy over 1,600 metres, where Ricky Yu's Mighty Giant ran the race of his life under an inspired front-running ride from Neil Callan.
Mighty Giant, he still leads by a length. Southern Legend grinds away from Champions Way. Mighty Giant is still in front. Southern Legend won't get him.
Pretty positive, small field. We are one of the youngest, and the horse that supposed to lead is Scratch. So we had a soft lead or sit second, a good spot, and especially but the jockey knows him well. This plays an important part.
Race favourite Waikuku finished a long last in the race, and he'll now miss the FWD Champions Mile as the dual Group 1 winner pulled up with a substantial amount of blood in his trachea. A new generation of sprinters were expected to make their mark in the Group 2 Sprint Cup, but Amazing Star had other ideas, producing an upset victory at 178-1, and it wasn't just the punters who were stunned by the result.
Amazing Star is trying to run him down. Stronger flies late. It's Amazing Star. Yes! Amazing Star won the Sprint Cup.
I still not believe it. Yeah, because maybe the pace is a bit fast, and there's a suitable for him, and he get a comfortable race, and then after that he get a little bit last. So that's why he can win. There's many luck. After the start, I don't think he can win. Only the last 200, I think, get chance. That's why. So in the beginning of the race, I don't think I can get any can get winners. And so I hope that he can run pace. Is good for him already.
Amazing Star's next assignment will be the Chairman's Sprint Prize after he was a supplementary entry along with Stronger and Beauty Applause. On a day of upsets, it's also worth noting that star Hong Kong gallopers Golden 60, Exultant and Furore missed Monday's meeting to stay fresh ahead of FWD Champions Day on April the 25th, as they prepare to fend off an almighty challenge from the land of the rising sun.
Let's expand upon some of those points then, Trenton, from Monday's meeting. Starting off with the Chairman's Trophy, won by Mighty Giant. 1400 metres had been his trip, but a soft lead out in front saw that he was able to get the mile strongly in that case on Monday.
Yeah, and I reckon you'll find that the scratching of Ka-Ying Star on the morning of the race probably played a bigger than expected role. Like, no one probably thought Mighty Giant would be able to roll along in front uncontested like he did, and you know it proved the difference in the end. So credit to Neil Callan, it was a great ride, and I thought Waikuku, well, he was obviously the disappointment, and he actually did the same thing in the same race this time last year. So it's he might not like racing in April. Yes,
he had a bad April really the last couple of years as things have turned out. This clearly isn't his time of the year. As Doug mentioned, he won't be there on Champions Day, but Southern Legend, all being well, he's trying to defend his title in the Champions Mile. He had the £5 penalty to carry. What did you make of his run?
Well, he's as honest as ever, isn't he? You'd love to own the horse. He just keeps fronting up. He never runs a bad race. And he just, age doesn't bother him at all. He just seems to keep going along, and he's a good money spinner. So Casper Founds has done a great job with him, and you just know in a small Champions Mile he's going to be there or thereabouts. He doesn't quite have the brilliance of Golden 60, I don't think, but he's going to be around the mark, and he's a good measuring stick, I think.
And in the Sprint Cup, Amazing Star. We know he's a good horse. He won 4 times last season and was the most improved horse officially in Hong Kong. But did you see a performance like that coming?
Oh, who did, Ed? That was something else, wasn't it? I wouldn't mind having something on it at those odds, but I mean, even the connections, you only got to look at what they thought of it. They didn't even have him nominated for the Group 1. So, you know, it was a surprise, but, you know, again, credit to Jimmy Ting and to Wagner Borges. They pulled it off, and they got the win. So, Group 2 win. And as you said, he always flashed the ability, especially at Happy Valley. He used to show a stack of speed and was hard to beat, but he stepped it up a level there.
He certainly did. That was actually his first ever win at Sha Tin too. So that was Monday's action. Later on this week, we learned who will be there from Japan and Hong Kong for FWD Champions Day. And the most valuable race on that program is the $25 million FWD QE2 Cup.
Selected runners for the FWD QE2 Cup 2021. Battle of speed and resilience. Glory Vase.
Glory Vase is powering away from Herrera, from Exultant and Lucky Lilac, and it's the empire that is Japan winning the Vase again.
Exultant.
Exultant leads. Furore still a length to make up. Deneagle Way. It's QE2 redemption for Exultant.
Daring Tact.
It's Daring Tact, Magic Castle, and wider out, starting to run on soft fruit. It's Daring Tact. She's going to do it. She's going to take the Triple Crown.
Loves Only You.
Loves Only You だゴール2着ステイフリッシュ3着ダンビュライト4番ラブズオンリーユー支持を集めてオークス
A field of 9 to contest the QE2 Cup for 2021. 5 from Hong Kong, 4 from Japan. At these big international meetings, Trenton, we like to have a headline act from overseas. Do we have one in Daring Tact?
Yeah, I think we do. She just adds a real level of intrigue to it, to just see how that form out of Japan stacks up out of that Triple Crown. And again, and it's going to be a good measuring stick. You know, with the likes of Loves Only You comes from Dubai, so you know that's got the Mishrif angle as well. So that's you know, it's going to be a good race, and I think they've probably got the class edge on the Hong Kong horses at the moment. So they might be racing against each other at the top, but you'll get a good sense of where everyone's at after the race, that's for sure.
Well, Daring Tax won 5 from 7 and she was flying home at her lead-up run in Japan. We've seen Love's Only You started this year in great fashion with a strong performance at the start of the year in Japan and ran really well for 3rd in Dubai, as you mentioned. Glory Vase, we know how good he is too, based off what he did a couple of years ago at the international meeting. So these are proven top-class performers from Japan.
Well, Glory Va's performance in the Hong Kong Vase, that was sensational, wasn't it? If he can drop back to 2000 and do it again, we know he likes to come here, and he obviously likes Sha Tin, so be very hard to beat, I would have thought. Any of those 4, Kaseki, comes here and he bombed the start last time he raced at Sha Tin and never really had a shot, but seems like he's a different horse now.
Yeah, he put in a terrific performance really in the Japan Cup, and he's been game on so many other occasions in some of their top-class races there. What about the local hopes then, Trenton? Exultant is trying to defend his title. Is he going as well, or does Furore now have his measure for the middle distance races here?
You get the sense there's a changing of the guard, don't you, within the Hong Kong horses. I think Furore has probably just got him. He's a younger horse, he's fresher legs, and Exultant, there's been a lot of gut busters. There's only so many times you can go to the well, and he's certainly gone plenty of times. And I think it's an interesting angle for someone like Zach Purton and even Joe Moreira. They were offered Japanese rides in the race, but they stuck fat with the local horses. Exultant's been so good to Zach, so you can kind of understand why he's done it. But I think Furo's probably got him in a match race between those two at the moment, but you can't really ride him off Exultant. He's been so good for so long, hasn't he?
He has indeed, yes. He's been a star middle distance and staying horse here in Hong Kong for the last few seasons. So that's a look then at the QE2 Cup coming up in just over a couple of weeks' time. After the break, we'll be looking at the Chairman's Sprint Prize, the Champions Mile, and we're going to catch up with Ruan Maia. Plenty more on the other side of the break here on Hong Kong Direct.